Hello, Purpose-Driven Career Leaders. My name is Kori Burkholder, founder of Purpose-Driven Career Accelerator Program. And today I am here with Jessica Mehring, who just finished the Purpose-Driven Career Program. And Jessica is the CEO of Horizon Peak Consulting and senior conversion content writer and now published author. So welcome, Jessica. It was such an honor to work with you over these last 4 months and guide you through that process towards turning your career dreams into a reality. So introduce yourself, say hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. It's been a wild last few months, and it's really exciting that we're having this conversation now.
Yeah, I'm so excited to connect with you because it's been a few weeks since we finished the program. So we'll just hop right into the questions. I want to give people who are watching this just a sense of what it's like to, go through the program and what it's like to work together. So I'm curious as to what you were struggling with or feeling frustrated about before deciding to join the program.
Yeah. So before I decided to join, to put it bluntly, I was burned out. Just totally burned out. I'm self-employed. I have a small business. I write marketing content and do content marketing strategy for technology companies. And as much as I love what I do, I was really just exhausted. I was at the end of my bandwidth, and for many reasons had really struggled to build a team that I could rely on to expand my bandwidth. So I was just working crazy hours on really complex projects and burnt out. And I kind of hit a wall, and I just started thinking, I don't know if I want to still be doing this in 5 years
Mhm.
or 10 years or a year. At that point, I was so exhausted. Um, so I started just thinking about, okay, well, then what is it that I want to be doing? I've been a copywriter for, in one capacity or another for 20 years. I've been self-employed since, fully self-employed since 2014, and was freelancing before that. I mean, I've been doing this forever. I don't know what else I would do with myself. So I started just exploring that, and I realized that um, my husband could only put up with so much conversation about this.
Mhm.
And I really needed somebody to kind of just talk things out with. And I'm pretty good at figuring things out as I talk.
Mhm.
As I process in writing very well, I also think through problems verbally pretty well. So I knew it would really benefit me to have somebody to talk to about this, and that who could maybe give me some guidance and the best way to go about figuring out what the next 5 to 10 years look like for me. And I stayed open to this actually being my continuing career path. Maybe being a content writer was the direction that I should continue, but I just really needed to explore it and really look at it from all angles and start making some more conscious, proactive decisions around it.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So you needed a little bit of that exploration, and we'll kind of dive into it deeper. But you came into the program kind of have like wanting to be this author since you were like a child. So that was one area that we really dove into. So where do you think where were you before you started, 4 months ago, as opposed to now?
4 months ago, again, I was just really in this kind of burned out but open to exploring phase. And I've always wanted to write books, and I have written books. I have books up on the Kindle store, and I've written books for clients. Um, but I always had this belief that I could not make enough money to support my family as an author. That was just a belief that I had.
Mhm.
And going into this program with you, I remember telling you this, that I kind of feel like at this stage in the game, I'm done having kids. I just had my last baby. I'm done having kids. I'm now in my 40s. I'm just this forward moving stage, I need to make a decision on the author front. If I really believe that I can't do this in any real way, if I can't make enough money to make it worthwhile, make enough money at least so I can do it even for fun, but it's still gotta pay for itself. If I can't do that, then I need to drop it. I need to let it go because it's just taking up too much space in my head. But if it is something that's a possibility, then it's something I need to explore seriously now and start seriously now. So I definitely had that kind of going on in the back of my head, like, okay, the author thing has always been there. I don't know if it's something I should take seriously or just drop. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, so exploring that idea along with some other ideas as we were kind of going through the process. So yeah, where you started 4 months ago was having this idea, and where are you now?
Now my book is coming out on September 1st. My tiny little book that I wrote while we were working together.
Yeah, and we needed to work through some of those beliefs that were kind of ingrained, and we worked with some of your parts and the inner critics that were really kind of holding you back from kind of stepping into owning being an author. Even though you were an author, you didn't you didn't have that hat on.
Yeah.
Right. So do you remember any of that inner critic work that we did?
Yeah, it was really interesting kind of what came out about that, because as a writer, and I write for a living as a content writer for my clients, but then even in this capacity as a possible author, the inner critic really, I thought I had a pretty good handle on her. And apparently I didn't, at least with the book writing stuff. She really, she had a pretty firm grasp on me, which I was really surprised by, because I've been doing this a very long time. I've been a writer a very long time. I have a lot of confidence in my skills. I have a lot of confidence in myself. And I really felt like I worked through a lot of the inner critic, imposter syndrome kinds of stuff. And it was still very much there.
Yeah, so we had to kind of go a little bit deep and figure out what she was really protecting and kind of transform that from like disempowering to more empowering and allowing you to kind of step into that. So what do you think your biggest concerns were, about working together, joining the program? Did you have any concerns about, diving deep in?
There's always concerns when I join any kind of program, if I'm going to get what I need out of it. And also I'm a very strong, I wouldn't say I'm a strong personality, but again, I'm pretty confident and I can lead pretty well. So somebody has to be pretty, pretty organized and pretty firm and pretty, like knowing where we're going to work with me in a way where I'm not driving the ship or driving the car, piloting the plane, whatever that phrase is. I knew I needed a firm hand here. And I felt like we ended up having a really good rapport in that, where I had the space to talk and just work through this stuff kind of verbally. You gave me the room to do that. But you didn't let me derail us too much, which I can do.
On track.
If you don't kind of corral me a little bit, I can certainly, I tend to just take the lead and go. That's just my personality. So I feel like we had a really good balance there in the end. So that was a concern of mine. It's always a concern of mine, is can they handle me?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you all the time, I'm just so impressed with like who you are, your work ethic. You have this company that's so successful. You have this family, these kids, and you just manage everything so well. And then finding time to write a book, during all of this, being a mom, being the CEO of your own company, and really kind of stepping in and taking ownership and committing to it to the end. So that was really a joy to watch and so inspiring to me just as a person, not only as your coach, but as a person. So what do you think was the most impactful part of working together?
I think the biggest thing that I got out of it was that I just really stepped into the role of author. It felt very natural. There wasn't a whole lot of fight once I kind of got my head around it and realized that there's a very real possibility I could make a living doing this, or at least supplement my income enough to be able to do it more and maybe taper off on some of the other things that are burning me out. So yeah, just really stepping into that role and saying I'm an author and I'm doing this and making that decision was the biggest transformation for me. Once I did that, once I made that decision and said, okay, this is it. This is the direction I'm. It's all or nothing now. Stepping into that and moving forward with it in a very serious way. I just feel transformed on the other side of it.
Amazing. And then once you made that decision, it's like, now the plan starts coming together, right? Like that 5-year, 10-year plan, which we started, carving out for you. So can you share, 2 or 3 tangible results that you got from our work together?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's tangible in that it's a mindset thing, but yeah, just getting absolute clarity on the direction that I'm going was huge. I going into this, everything felt very nebulous. I just didn't know. I didn't know what direction I needed to move in, but I knew I needed to make a decision because it was not going to just impact me; it was going to impact my family too. So getting crystal clarity on the direction I was going to be going over the next 5 to 10 years was huge, absolutely huge. And then stepping into that role in a very real way, not just like, oh yeah, someday I'm going to do this. No, I was like, okay, this is happening. This is my direction. These are the steps I need to take to get there. I'm taking step 1 today. I can take step 2 tomorrow. Really, really stepping into it provided a mindset shift that it was like a flywheel, once it got going, it just kind of perpetuated. So that was huge too. And for me, and I don't know if this is true for everybody, but for me, just having somebody to talk to about this once a week was so helpful. It was so helpful because I really was feeling very alone about it. And my husband can only handle so much. He's so supportive in everything I do, but he's human. He can only handle so much of me needing to talk about this. He doesn't know how to guide me through this. My peers and my colleagues who all have their own businesses as well, we're just not going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And again, there's only so much that they can help me with and so much time they have to listen to me talk about it. So just having that opportunity to just, whatever is coming up for me, I could talk through it was really, really huge.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is, when you wrote that mini book, right? And you weren't exactly sure what you were going to do with it, whether it's going to be, private, which would have been great, right? But when you actually held it, we definitely want to see it, but when you held it in your hand for the first time, what was that like for you?
Yeah, that project was somewhat of an experiment to see, well, number one, to make sure I could still do this book writing thing, because that's a skill. I wasn't sure if my skill was up to par anymore. So, I wrote it and then I edited it, I designed it, and I self-published it. And I was still feeling really unsure. It was a book for women, and I knew that there were some strong messages in there, but I just wasn't sure if it was strong enough to put out in the world in any serious way. But I went through the whole process. and I ordered some review copies from the printer. And yeah, when I held that book in my hands, physically in my hands, which if you'll indulge me, I have a copy right over here.
Yes, please, please. And we'll also share some links where they can, you know, if anybody wants to, they can order it. So.
Yep, this is it. And hopefully it's not backward on the camera.
It's not, it looks good.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yep. So once once I held this little guy in my hands and flipped through the pages, for real, not just on a screen, but really physically in my hands and read through it, I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. There's things in here that I think other women should hear, should read. And it felt right to go ahead and put it up for sale. So yeah, it's on pre-order right now, and you can get it from all the major booksellers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get a digital ebook copy, or you can have a print copy. And it launches to the world on September 1st.
Yes, amazing. We will also share the links in the comment section below, so anybody who wants to order it. But yeah, holding that in and making that decision that you wanted to release this publicly, because this is like your initiation into this new journey for you, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who's kind of on the fence about, taking this program?
Man, if you're unclear on your career direction, this will give you the clarity that you need. It's such an interesting and amazing process to go through. I mean, you look at not just your career trajectory, but your whole life, your childhood, your dreams, and it's a whole picture. It's a whole person picture of who you are and what your skills are and what you could possibly do. I'd say if you're just unclear in any way on your career path, this is such a good process to go through just to get that clarity.
Yes, thank you for saying that. So what are you most proud of accomplishing in these last 4 months?
I'm most proud of really stepping into the author role and doing this. This was huge. This was the proof I needed, I think, to say I can do this. This is a real thing I'm going to be moving forward with. This is my future plan.
Yep. And now you have that, we carved out that plan for you. So, you have that structure. We kind of broke it down into, I think of 5 years and 1 year, right?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, the immediate stuff that needs to get done to really build a platform is kind of the first year. And then, just moving forward. I think we did 1 year and 2 year actually, because I like doing everything at once. That's just how I am.
Well, we had the 5 year of the cabin in the woods, I think.
Yes.
That was the bigger vision.
And writing on the road. I want to buy my own writing cabin, yeah.
Yeah, your writing cabin, and then the Aerostream or something. The Airstream, like writing from different areas of the country, things like that.
Yeah, I was thinking, in the direction of an RV, but yeah, that was more just about, the freedom of it, of being able to do this from wherever, which I can do my current job from wherever, but I still have kind of responsibilities to my clients to be there at certain times. So it's a different way of looking at my future for sure.
Yep. Okay, so what is next for you? Like, tell us what you're working towards. I know we kind of covered it, but just share with us, like, what you're up to, what's next, what you're working towards now.
Yeah, I'm writing a mystery novel right now. Hoping to actually publish that by the end of the year. I'm hoping, first draft by end of September, then draft 2 by end of October, and get that thing published by the end of the year. I'm also working on another nonfiction book about reflection. I think that's a project that's going to take a little more time to kind of bake. So the mystery novel is next up.
Yeah, and I can't wait. And we had to work through some inner critics on that one too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Remember?
I'm a nonfiction writer, so writing fiction was a big hurdle.
Right, which was part of the platform, building the platform, right? Because with the mystery novels, you can just keep writing. And so I guess
Mhm.
from an author standpoint, you need to have a lot of like content, right?
Yes, yep, yeah. From a career standpoint, if I actually want to make a living doing this, I need to continually produce books. And series like mysteries or romance is, often in that bucket too. Um, that's a really great way to build a platform and get consistent readership. And it's fun. It's just fun to write.
Yeah, now you're writing fiction. Look at you. You're like writing a mystery novel and then reflection, so more nonfiction at the same time, and really building your platform. And I just have to say, it was such an honor to work with you and just see your evolution and what you've accomplished in this short period of time. And I can't wait to see where you go, and I'll probably see you like on the big screen somewhere. Maybe one of your novels will be made into a movie. Who knows? Like, the world is your oyster right now. So share with us they can find you on social media. I think you have an Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. The only social media that I'm really pretty like consistent with is Instagram. I love Instagram. So you can find me there at JA Mehring. And well, jessicamehring.com is a really good place to go to find like all my stuff, because it's kind of like a landing page where you can go whatever direction you want to go. My author website is there, which is jessicamehringauthor.com. But if you just go to jessicamehring.com, it's kind of like the jumping off point for all the things I'm doing.
It's your hub.
It's my hub.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jessica, and we will definitely be in touch. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, stop.